Hello, we are here today with Demelash Bekele, which is the founder and the director of Vision Community-Based Rehabilitation Association, that is one of our partners in Wolisso, Ethiopia. We are very happy to have you here today, Demelash.
Thank you for having me.
So we want to ask you, what is VCBRA and what are the main features of the population that you work with in Ethiopia?
Vision Community-Based Rehabilitation is a civil society organization operating in Ethiopia, mainly in Oromia regional state. So our main target population is general people with disability, but because of lack of resources, we are a little bit like focus on children with disabilities. When I say children with disabilities, children with cross disability, children who have any kind of disability get services from us. And the services we are giving is access to rehabilitation services, access to education. We promote economic empowerment. We also promote inclusive education. And we aggressively do awareness raising activities. When we see the situation of children with disabilities in Ethiopia, children are most vital part of the society. This is the known thing. But if you see children with disabilities, they experience multifaceted challenges, like, for example, lack of rehabilitation services. For example, in rural area, there is no rehab service facility in Ethiopia. The misconception of family and peers is also another thing that's really affecting children with disability. Poverty and hunger is also another challenge. Poverty and disability are interwoven issue. So most parents, they're really poor. So because of their poverty condition, children with disability suffer from hunger. Lack of access to assistive device is also another issue. There are few assistive device production units in Ethiopia. So poor access to assistive device is another challenge. Without having, for example, having assistive device, it's really hard to do activities of daily living, like going to school or doing some chores at home. The schools is also another thing that's the main challenge for children with disability, especially in rural area. Homes are really dispersed. The schools are very far away from the community. So children with disability has to travel like 2-3 kilometers, even more, to get school. On top of this, like if they don't have assistive device, that's also another challenge. Again, the schools are not accessible. If you see, the educational material support is also another thing. Attitude of schools is teachers is also another daunting barriers for children with disabilities.
Thank you very much. With you in Ethiopia, we are near children with disabilities and their families, but in this specific moment of coronavirus emergency, some of the activities that we were doing are suspended. However, we thought about a way of being near our children and their families despite the emergency. Can you speak a little bit about what we are doing in this moment in Ethiopia?
Yeah, basically our organization, VCBRA, we do our services through a community-based approach, community-based inclusive development approach. So this approach is we go home to home to support children with disability together with their parents. But now, because of this COVID-19, as you all understood, COVID is affecting this regular activity. So instead, what we are doing is we are aggressively working on awareness creation activities, especially on how COVID-19 can be prevented, what are the major measures to be taken to be safe from COVID-19. And also, we're a bit moving to provide emergency activities like providing food support. providing sanitary material support, and also like providing information to children with disabilities and parents of children with disabilities, where to get the services, what is going to happen, where to go, like in case if they see some signs and symptoms of COVID, where to report, what to do, and we're also doing like a follow-up actions going in the community. We're also trying to, though COVID is affecting our regular rehab services, we're also trying to see some options how we can proceed our home-based rehabilitation services by continuing our services from remote, like for example instructing family members to do the rehab services, also checking whether the children are in a good situation, or checking if there is incidents of abuse or not, checking whether they are taking their continuously taking their medication or not. So we're still like in the community supporting our actions, though the major rehabilitation activity seems on hold.
Thank you, Demelash, for your time and for your work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.